today we are going to continue on with what we've been working with for the past couple of weeks in building out the 8 basic types of mechanisms with the VEX parts. Specifically, what part of the engineering design process are we addressing with the work that we've been doing? Eliza? We are creating, that is correct. We are building these mechanisms out. We're learning how to put them together, how to take them apart in a relatively quick period of time so that we can begin building our way into mechanical systems here in just a few days. The mechanism that you guys are going to be building today is called a worm and wheel. It's one of the simpler ones to build. It shouldn't take you the entire period even to assemble this. But I do want to talk with you all just a little bit about what makes the worm and wheel unique. If you remember me talking last week, I believe it was, we talked about the relationship these mechanisms have with speed and torque. Who can tell me the type of relationship that we see between speed and torque?
More torque means less speed.
More torque means that less speed is going to be present. So what kind of relationship do we describe that as? What's the term that we use there?
Inverse.
It's an inverse relationship. They're opposites of each other. So what we're going to see with this particular mechanism, it's really the only one that we'll be working with that's like this, is that it's going to increase the torque that's being applied to whatever it's being used to move. So if it's doing that, what's happening to the speed there?
It's not as great.
Not as great. So what we're going to eventually see here is that I can apply a lot of speed here to my input source, my handle, to make my worm spin pretty rapidly. But you're going to see that the gear at the top is actually going to move very, very slowly. It's going to be very hard to increase the speed of that. Why would it be important to increase the amount of torque in something? How would that be useful in the real world? Think for just a minute. Why would a mechanism that can increase the amount of torque be useful in a real world situation? What is torque? Think about what it is. Torque is the amount of, what, did you know? Going to slow down stuff, but what can it do? What's the benefit of slowing down stuff? If we're increasing torque, we're increasing the amount of force being applied, so that allows us to move something larger. Yes, it allows us to move larger objects. And that is where you will mainly see a mechanism like this used. A great example of a worm and wheel being used in the real world would be, think about a bank vault. How many of you have ever been to the bank and see the big heavy door that seals the bank? You guys have seen that before. It's a mechanism just like this. It's used to open that door, that big heavy door. And it's used that way in a lot of areas of industry. In just a minute, I'm going to lay out the parts that I want you to gather. Please remember that I need only one person from each group to be getting up and gathering your parts. And then we're going to look at the assemblage of this particular mechanism. Find it over here. There it is. All right, so you can see what you're going to need are 4 bearings. You're going to need 2 shafts, the shorter shafts. This is the worm, the curly part. You're going to need 1 gear, a handle, 4 shaft collars, 1 L bracket, and then both sizes of Allen wrenches. You're also going to need a handful of not the shortest, but the next to shortest length black screws. So I want my parts person from each group to get up right now and gather those parts for me.